universe, spirit. Spirit guides, guardians, angels, beings, spirits above, below, in between. What message do we need to hear on this night? Right, soul's good. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Ah! This is one way to get a long reading. Oh Lord, this is chaotic. Okay. Alright. Here we go. Okay. That was that way. Okay, let me just attack the things that are in my lap. Of the forest, high vibes, ignoring, not seeing the signs, and black robes. Okay. Ooh, okay. High vibes, okay. Ignoring, not seeing the signs. Black robes. Now, black robes often for me means like, yes, you got the black magic. Think about the black robes, black magic. Not that, not that having a black robe makes, you know what I'm saying. Just the idea of a whole bunch of black robe people doing black magic, or a group of people doing group things that are nefarious. Okay, not saying again that having a black robe. I mean, I have a black cloak, so you know that doesn't mean anything. What does is the intentions, and with this, because it says ignoring and not seeing the signs, we got high vibe and of the forest. So I'm getting like really like I'm getting like hippie trippy, you know, in the forest vibes, you know, but ignoring the signs of something sinister, a group that's sinister nearby, or something's cloaked and you're not able to see the signs. Something like that. Something's either cloaked and you're ignoring, not seeing the signs. It could be somewhat a nefarious group doing nefarious practices. It doesn't have to be black magic, can be other things. And you could be in a forest, like you could be near a forest. You could live in a forested state. There's something there. But there's high vibes, like keeping high vibes, but not seeing something that's cloaked or hidden in front of you. Jealousy, okay, jealousies fell out. So you have some people who are jealous of you. Okay, here we go. This is not such a positive reading, but that's okay. Harvest and harvesting. Something's being harvested, okay? We got limitless. Limitless harvesting? Do you live near, again? This doesn't resonate with everyone. It can. Parts of it can. Parts of it may not. Parts of it may. This is a general reading, and you'll find that, you know, if it doesn't resonate at all, it's not the reading for you. There's other readings. However, it could resonate with you. Some message here is for you. That's why you found this channel or this message. Okay? That being said, again, you could be someone who lives in a forest and they're harvesting lumber, or a forested area. You don't have to live in the forest. A forested area. Possibly a place where they do lumber. Limitless. I feel like, yeah, limitless trees, limitless lumber. Right? You do have a spiritual practice. Ancient hieroglyphics. Interesting. Spiritual practice, ancient hieroglyphics. So you could be fascinated by hieroglyphics, ancient cultures, looking at the way they communicated, their paintings on the wall, the hieroglyphics carved, the stones, The hieroglyphic carvings. It could also be significant of a past life. You may want to look into certain hieroglyphics depending on what culture or what you're drawn to with the hieroglyphics, because it could be significant to a past life, and incorporate that into your spiritual practice in some way. There's something there. There's something there. Could also be that something communication is a bit coded. That there might be, like, you may want to look into magical alphabets. There's something about cipher here, deciphering something. Right? Deciphering a code here. Okay? Feline spirit on the side. So there's a cat that's significant to you, possibly. It's very important. Could also be a feline spirit connected to a pantheon, like Bastet or Sekhmet, something like that, or maybe like black cats in connection to Lilith, or whatever, like whatever, you know, however that works for you. Okay. But feline spirit is coming up. It also could mean that you're also very independent, like a feline. You're graceful, you're independent, you kind of do your own thing, you kind of like to be left alone for the most part, and you can really, like, really understand the feline spirit in that way as well. Two-faced. Two-faced. Someone's two-faced. Yeah. And it fell on a rune deck that I had at my side. It fell on a rune. So let's see what that rune is. Uraz. Health, strength, steadfast, fearless, headstrong, unstoppable. Physical strength, healing, driving force, overcoming fear, breaking through obstacles. Let's see the reverse, because this is two-faced. Bullheaded, assertiveness, strength without intellect, intimidating and stubborn. So that could be some energies like coming off a certain way, but actually being another way, in that way of being strong and assertive. Someone's being two-faced here. Again, with this ignoring, not seeing the signs, and black robes. Okay, black robes as in like hooded. So like concealed. Okay, so just think of a mostly concealed black robe. There's different religions that have that, some with black magic, and there are others that do that as well. I'm not going to mention anything, but just think of something being totally concealed and possibly in black. But also just being hidden, so you don't really know. But also too, just, yeah, and then there's jealousy here. Okay, they're jealous of your harvest, and they're jealous of your independence, your high vibes. Again, this is really just a lot coming out here. Yeah, there's something that's being concealed from you. You're doing the high vibe thing, which is good, but you also do need to pay attention to certain things that are there, or just be more cautious. It's good to be high vibes, but make sure that you're being cautious, that you're being discerning. Okay, this is a little bit, let's kind of, let's see what's going on. And off to the side, over here when I looked, it has scams and scammers. So there could be a scam going on here. Scam and scammers. That was over off to the side with the deck face up. So scam and scammers. I saw that when I was... Okay, so... yeah, you don't want to be taken in. You don't want to be scammed. You don't want to ignore the signs. Someone's being two-faced. Again, with this cipher, we got ancient hieroglyphics, and I could see that in your spirit. Could see that in your spirituality. But I'm also like seeing like again, there could be sign symbols, ciphered magical alphabets, but also too that something's being hidden and something needs a cipher. Something needs to be looked into, deciphered, because it's hidden and there's something there. Okay. Movement. Yeah, movement. Okay, movement here. Wishing. Okay, you need to get moving on whatever you're wishing for, to get moving on them. Move towards your wishes in a very strong, very focused, but like strong and very physical way. Doing the physical work, putting in the physical hours, physical. Also, too, I'm also getting exercise as well, movement, movement in general, but movement for strength. So yeah, maybe some muscle building here. Something about this movement's going to bring these wishes to more fulfillment, to fruition. Sorry. So move on them rather than just staying in a place of wishing. You want to actually move towards these goals, okay? And not just be wishing about them and thinking about them. And again, I am getting movement and exercise here, along with moving towards your goals. And maybe that is one of your goals, is to manifest a different health for your body. Maybe you want to be more healthy, or you want to be more muscular, or whatever it is. Moving towards that in a physical way, right? High Priestess of Spirit. Okay, so we have High Priestess of Spirit here. Again, you have this spirituality, you have this high vibe, you have this like limitless like quality to your spirituality. And you have a spiritual practice. Also too, moving more into your spiritual practice. Making movement a part of your spiritual practice as well. Physical movement as well. We got chaos, so a lot of movement there. Could be a lot of chaos in your life. It could have been recently have undergone or undergoing a lot of chaos in your surroundings. Maybe there's a move. Maybe things were moved around. Things were redone, remodeled. A lot of movement, a lot of like things being upheavaled. Okay. Reminder, upside down, don't forget. Something about also too, like not being, you really need to make sure that you're not in this wishful state of not remembering. You want to do things, you want to make plans for yourself, but then you forget to, something happens and you do something and then you forget, you get off track. Something about getting off track here. And don't forget your spiritual practice. That's important because it fell on spiritual practice. Don't forget. Don't forget to incorporate your spiritual practice, because that's really important right now. And also this whole idea, don't forget, but also like don't be forgetful, because again, you have people around you who are jealous, that want to scam you out of something, and they're acting in a two-faced way, and you could not be in something about not seeing the signs. Okay, belonging. Yeah, something about belonging here. You may feel like you don't belong in some places while you are looking for belonging in other places. You definitely have, you do belong in a spiritual area, you do belong with a spiritual community. I'm seeing that. It's important to vet people who you come across, because there's something about, you don't want to put belonging and fitting in above seeing warning signs in people, okay? That's very important. Denial. Maybe you feel like you've been denied belonging, like you've been denied. Also, too, if you stay too much in a place of wishing and not moving forward, you'll be denied. It'll take longer for your wishes to manifest, and you may just end up not manifesting them if you don't move forward on that. It's something about really being solid in what you're doing and moving forward, and not letting get the chaos move you off your path. That will happen, and you may just need to adjust it, but don't let it, totally take you off path. Okay? Fragment. Yeah, a fragment. These fragments of yourself. You need to pick these fragments of yourself up and put them back together. Defragment yourself. Find parts of yourself. Know who you are. I'm sure you're here, you probably already do quite know who you are, and you are very confident with yourself, but there may be some more work to do. Again, with this very floaty and kind of flighty energy here, or just like not being present when you need to be. Okay. Just tapping in. I'm like, yeah, this is interesting. It's interesting. Definitely, you should get out in nature, and you shouldn't look at everything as a pessimist, but you shouldn't be overly optimistic to where you're just like not really functioning in reality. I'm not saying that it's you. I'm just saying that there's an element of that there. A lot of this was turned over, so a lot of this was not. This is in the background. You also could be in a community of high vibe people. This could also be a community of high vibe people that you're around, and not saying that you aren't, but they're too high vibe and they're ignoring a threat in their vicinity, and they're not. They're too scared to really. They're just not present enough or not aware enough to really notice the threat. Okay. So there is that. So it could be you, but it could be your community, and it's putting you in a predicament. Love, okay. Again, what I say about vetting people and being discerning, Love. And also, too, this community, okay, I'm thinking love and light. I'm thinking love and lighters now, because I was just talking about the community of high vibe people, and then love comes out. Love and light. Well, we can't engage in anything darker or looking out for ourselves, because that's bad, because that's bringing in negativity. This is what this is what they would say. That's so negative. You're such a bad person. Summon. You need to summon the strength to stand firm in what you believe in, and the truth, what's right. Again, too much of this overly love and light and not really being in reality can also be fragmenting as well. I feel like this might just be a community, and you might be in a forest area, like I said. So it could be like very, like, thinking of like Mendocino or something. So something like that. Could be like Colorado. Like a state with like a place with like high vibing. You got like some of the hippie trippy vibes, spiritual vibes, but then you also got like maybe they're not really acknowledging something they need to acknowledge. Because there's something underhanded and being two-faced in the area. Okay. Trapped. Yeah, you don't want to get trapped, because yeah, there's a danger here of becoming trapped. If you're not going to summon up the courage, if you don't stand up for yourself and take action, even if you have to remove yourself from situations or areas of being trapped, of being imprisoned, and not totally physical. I mean, that might happen. I mean, I don't know how bad these individuals are. But I'm feeling it was more like just, you know, you don't want to trap. Also, you don't want to trap yourself. You don't want to trap yourself in your own prison. But I also feel like there's, again, with the scam and scammers and these two-faced people with nefarious intentions. It's going to trap you in something, okay? Don't do it. Don't do it. If something smells wrong, it is wrong, okay? And again, don't trust anyone trying to act like they're a Romeo out there. They, you know, you gotta be discerning. You gotta vet people with time and distance to make sure they're legit, okay? And individuality, what was I saying with this feline spirit here? Feline spirit, individuality, okay? Yeah, you can tap into individuality. It's important that you do tap into this individuality. It's your power. It's part of your power. Okay, and fulfillment. Once you tap into this, yeah, fulfillment is here. Fulfillment is here for you as long as you take the course. As long as you stay the course, I mean, and you take the steps to do the things that bring you closer to what you want. And not getting trapped into, like, being in kind of like an overly optimistic fairyland in a way. Not a fairyland, you know what I mean. Kind of like rose-colored glasses, right? And not moving towards it in a realistic way, but also about people, because there is, again, then also too, it could be some scam and scammers around spirituality and religion and community like that as well. So watch out for that as well, okay? It's kind of hoping it wouldn't be like, I mean, you know, it's okay. The journey, here we go. Let's see where we're at on this journey here. Okay. Any other clarify? Whoa. Ooh. A helper. Okay, you do have help on the other side. You do have wisdom. You're not stupid. And your spirit guides aren't playing. You do have a very strong connection. And this wise owl, it's definitely discerning and focused. You need to be focused. Your spirit guides will help you tap into that. Also with the forest and the owl, but you know, will help you be focused on getting the things that you want and helping you survive too. You need to tap into that wisdom. Your spirit guides will help you, but you also need to tap into that wisdom. I'm not saying that you don't. I feel like you do. I feel like there's something around in the community that's not. Like this false high vibe stuff. Like, yeah, I'm seeing it as like false high vibe stuff. Like, sometimes I see that in my community I work around, you know, very like, oh, we come off a certain way, but really, like, okay, if you work in a grocery store, you see how people really are, okay? You see how horrible they really are. How gross, disgusting, rude, inconsiderate. The list goes on. I'm not saying everyone's like that, but boy, oh boy. Whoo. Two-faced for sure. Integration. Yeah, remember with this fragment here, you're integrating. You're integrating parts of you. And you're coming into this healing and knowledge of yourself that's helping you move forward. It's helping you be wiser too with other people. Because I really feel like this isn't you with these with this. Okay, penance. Yeah, with this spiritual community. Penance. There's things that you need to recognize in your past, who you are, make peace with these. Oh, there's a lot of cards here. Wow. Okay. We got approach. Oh my god, this is, wait, okay, that's on fragment. Ooh, these all landed on fragment. Okay. Approach, reversal. Interesting. This is a sleight of hand. You could also do reversal magic, but this is also a sleight of hand. But I am getting reversal magic, maybe reversal candle with the colors. But also sleight of hand as well with this Two-Face. With in this deck, it talks about, it goes into fuller detail, but I'm getting like there's also something being moved and okay, so you're still on this journey. You're still moving through the obstacles, the twists and turns come in your path, the things that catch you off guard, and you're still really, you've gotten a lot of more skill at navigating life's challenges, and you have survived something. There's this aftermath here that's given you great, this brought great treasure. Like this quest is almost like this great, but it's a massive treasure. This is a massive inner treasure I'm getting after this aftermath that was really a lot for you. You could have actually experienced being scammed by people who were nefarious, and then ended up learning a lot from it as well, or almost scammed and you learned a lot from it. But there's something there. Okay, again, this is covering quite a few people, so it's going to resonate in different ways. But yeah, be on your guard. But you definitely have what it takes to do so. And there's also like this surrender here too, with just with the expressions I'm getting. It's just some surrendering to it, and just kind of like acceptance and allowing in a way of this healing that you're undergoing. But yeah, you've been through a lot. You're going through a lot. You definitely have healed a lot. You're a lot smarter than you were. You just got to be sure to be really. You can tap into liminality. You can tap into the other worlds and other states of consciousness, but you also need to be aware of what's around you and how you're moving towards your goals. But I feel like there's a community of people who are just not with it, okay? And that could be in your surrounding. Could be like a cult-like following. It doesn't have to be, but it could be. Trust your innocence. Okay, so it's good to have a little bit of innocence and to trust that, but I feel like there's a little bit too much of this. You don't want to be naive. You want to be innocent in a way while you're still gaining knowledge and wisdom, but not be innocent and naive in a way that traps you and gets you into something you don't want to be in. You have unique gifts. You do have unique gifts, and there have been ones you really had to cultivate. You really had to go deep into. You had to navigate a lot of twists and turns and a lot of upheavals and a lot of chaos for the chaos of life. Keep going, okay? Keep going, and you'll further tap into these gifts. There's more for you, I'm feeling, right? This deck is kind of... One more. It's a closing message for... Ooh. The infinite. Okay. You're an infinite spirit. You're limitless. It was limitless here. You're definitely limitless. You've got the spiritual... Engage in your spiritual practice and even high vibes, yes. Your spirituality is... It's expansive. You're growing in your gifts, and you're expanding in your healing. You're going to expand out and share with others in the community. You're going to spread your wings. You're going to fly higher to new heights. Your past has allowed you to do this. You're going to be able to see things from a bird's eye view. You're going to have the ability to see, again with this owl here, divinity and spirituality is helping you. Tap into this. Hold on. With this helper. Okay? You are helped and aided by the universe. So when you feel like you really need some clarity, really take the time to release and get into yourself and feel and ask and accept, because you're going to get a lot of communication, a lot of like intuitive hits, but a lot of on what to do and who to trust. You'll feel it. You're going to feel it because of the significant energy body here. You're going to know. Even if others around you don't know and they act like they don't know because they're scared to acknowledge the truth around them, you'll know. Okay, and that's important because you need to be aware. Okay? So that's the message. Okay? Spread your wings, fly, be limitless, and reach your full potential, and be smart.